This conversation is sponsored by the Glasser Institute for Choice Theory. And it is also used as a teaching tool for people who may not be able to actually have the time to be able to participate in the conversation when we actually do the conversation. They can go back and watch the videos. And sometimes I'm surprised when I hear from people who watch the videos. And I actually got an email from Brian, the executive director of the Glasser Institute, who, telling me that he watched the video. And so I thought that was a good thing. I thought it was a really good thing. But he also asked me to think about how we're going to offer people, how we're going to provide people with the CEs for the participating in this conversation. Anyway, so it is a training opportunity. It's an opportunity for us to really try to think about how we can use choice theory to help address some of the issues, the cultural issues that we have in this country. And really to learn more about other people's experiences, because I think that helps us to be, and we've talked about this before, more culturally aware. Plus, it sounds to me like we are working towards being more, practicing cultural humility, which means that we're always learning something about not only our culture, but other people's cultures as well. All right, that has been said, and I always have to thank Judith and Martin. Usually Elijah is here, and Elijah is our co-chair. And we were talking earlier, Judith and I, about the fact that Elijah, I can't remember if he said he was going to be traveling this month or not, but he travels a lot, and we're excited for him to be able to travel. And so I don't know if he's going to be here. Okay, that was a lot, and it feels scattered. It sounded in my head like it was really scattered, but I'm going to go ahead and just let that fly. So now what I would like for us to do, there were a couple of things that came up. No, I'm sorry, I forgot. So Judith, how are you feeling today?
I'm really sick, so I may not be here the whole time, but I wouldn't miss at least the beginning.
Okay, I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry you're sick, Judith.
Me too.
Yeah. Rhonda, how are you feeling?
Feeling cold,
Mm.
no heat.
Oh, okay. All right, Shovana, how are you feeling today?
Right now I'm a little famished, and I feel like I'm coming with an ear infection, like my ear, nose, and throat part is kind of bothering me.
Okay, I'm sorry you're not feeling well.
Thank you so much, Dr.
I hope you
Cisse.
get better quickly. So Shovana, who else did you say is in the room with you?
Tiffany.
All right, Tiffany, how are you feeling today?
Hey, everybody, I feel thankful.
Very good. Be careful around what's her name?
Now Dr. Cisse.
Okay, sorry.
I just got over a sickness, Dr. Cisse.
You got your mask on, girl? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh goodness. All right. Elijah just said he's looking for the login. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna have to distract myself just for a moment. All right, Jody, how are you feeling today?
Hey everyone, I am feeling tired today.
Hope you're gonna get some rest, Jody.
I'm definitely trying. Thank you so much.
Marty, how are you feeling today?
Well, I'm feeling great.
Marty
Yeah.
got all the good stuff over there.
I don't know about that, but I'm feeling fine. Yeah, glad not to be sick or whatever. So far so good.
Hmm.
Now tomorrow I'll come down with a cold or something. Now after I said all that.
No. Oh,
Uh,
all right. All right, I just resent the link to Neb. Okay, who's next? Andrew. And Andrew, if you'll go around the room with the rest of the people that are sitting around us, I'd appreciate that. How are you feeling today, Andrew?
I'm feeling very content and satiated. Had a great lunch.
Great, great, great. The next person next to you.
Hello, everyone. This is Quandra. I'm feeling very excited today, excited for this training and excited for everything that I've learned the past 3 days.
Okay, wonderful. Great, great. Ross, how are you feeling?
I am feeling curious and happy today.
All right, wonderful. Maisha, how are you feeling?
Hello. I'm on the camera. I am feeling excited for the rest of the training and to finish my food.
All right, great, great, great. Thank you. Hi, Pam, welcome. How are you feeling today? Are you there, Pam? Hello? Yeah, she may not have connected to, because it doesn't say she's muted. We'll come back to Pam. Monty, how are you feeling today?
Feeling happy today, out with family, but I'm happy today.
All right, very good. So Pam, can you hear me, Pam? She's not connected to audio. I can't even ask her to unmute herself. Oh, no.
I sent her a chat to ask can she hear us.
Mm. And Judith's power just went out.
Uh-oh.
This is just one of those days, huh?
yeah.
So Neb needs the, Martin, do you have Neb's telephone number?
No, I don't.
Okay, I was gonna see if you could send him the link. So he said his, let me see if I can get it right quick. This has just been one of those days, right? I don't know how to copy the link.
Huh.
It's so that it's in my, can I can you copy the link and then, so it's in my chat so I can send it to Neb's There's the
Are you
conversation.
leading the meeting?
Yeah.
You should be able to, I think there's.
But I don't know, okay, so one thing I have to do though, if I copy the link here, then I have to be able to send it. Okay, Pam is back. Send it to my messenger, and I don't know how to do that. Did you copy it?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
On my phone?
I use
Let's see. So today is the day for technical difficulties. But it's okay because it's not going to deter me from being able to have this conversation. Okay, I think I found it. I think I found it, y'all. I think I was able to send it to Neb. Okay. All right.
I think Pam found it too.
Yeah, Pam, can you hear us, Pam? Can you unmute your microphone and tell us how you're feeling today?
You're muted. We can't hear you.
Is that what she's figuring it out? We're all trying to figure it out, right? Yeah, you're still muted, Pam.
I am so sorry. I'm not usually on my phone for this. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Feelings for today. I'm actually feeling very, very good because I was able to hike this morning and I was able to do 3 miles, which, you know, I just got started back. So that's actually a pretty big deal that I got to do 3 miles. So I'm feeling very, my feet are tired, but I'm feeling very good today.
Wonderful. Yay. Welcome to our conversation. I'd like to just kind of give people a little bit of information about the call, right? So it's sponsored by the Glasser Institute for Choice Theory. And I am the chair of the Glasser Institute for Choice Theory's Diversity Council. We have this is an educational conversation. We record it because there are people who can't be here at this time who can go back and watch the videos on the Glasser Institute's website. So it is being recorded. We are always practicing using our connecting habits as identified by Glasser. And so that means, you know, we are trying to be accepting. Okay, so now I was getting ready to list them, but I'm not going to do that. We can talk about that later. Somebody can tell Pam what the connecting habits are. But anyway, so we are talking. This is an effort to really try to think about how we can address some of the issues around diversity that we experience in this country using choice theory. Ideas, concepts and ideas. All right. So I like to ask people how they're feeling. Sometimes I forget to do it, but I really enjoy doing that. So I appreciate everybody cooperating with me as I do that. So we had a conversation. I'm completing a basic training this weekend. Today is the last day. And we had lunch together today, and we knew that this conversation was going to be a part of our training. So I asked the young people, younger than me people around the table, to tell me why they felt like choice theory would be a good framework for conversations around diversity. And then I asked them about things that we could talk about, and Andrew came up with, I can't remember, Andrew, what was the topic that you mentioned?
Labels and symbols.
Labels and symbols. And so we're gonna cover both those things as we have for our conversation today. So Andrew, if you don't mind, go ahead and tell people what you mean by labels and symbols, which is the same question I asked you to table, right? And then we'll have a conversation about labels and symbols and how they're related to choice theory.
So some labels and symbols are considered meant for all. For example, the gay pride flag was just the rainbow and is supposed to represent all. But not everybody felt represented by that symbol. So they added more stripes and more colors to it, so everybody could be added to the conversation there for gay pride. There's also symbols such as Aunt Jemima and how it's been changed to a windmill. There's also symbols like the Fighting Irish. That's also can be considered as a derogatory symbol for Irish people. So there are many different types of symbols and labels out there that could possibly be seen as derogatory to a certain group of people.
Okay, all right. And we also talked about how there seems to be a movement around the country to modify the words or to change the words that we use, you know, because they aren't very kind. Using them is not very nice or kind to other groups of people. So does can anybody else think of any symbols or words or phrases that they've heard that were, here's my friend, that were not, or you, that have been used for a long time that you don't believe are very helpful or inclusive? Anybody? Yes, Rhonda.
Like in the Atlanta brace, the tomahawk chop,
Yeah, that's right.
tomahawk, even on their souvenirs and stuff, they have it.
Yeah, yeah, there was a lot of conversation happening around that. I don't think they decided to change it though.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Okay, thank you, Rhonda. I remember when I was younger, a lot younger, I was probably a kid. I used to hear people say things like, and I mentioned these same things when we were at lunch, things like "Jewing you down" or Indian giver, or yeah, and oh hi Neb, you can't hear us? I couldn't tell what you were symbolizing. And so, but those things, I hear them less and less. And I remember when I was younger, I used to give people a fit if I heard them say those things, because it never felt right. You know what I'm saying? To be saying them, because I know I wouldn't want anybody to just have some kind of way of referencing me that wasn't accurate. It wasn't based on. It just wasn't accurate. I don't even know how you could say Indians or people who are native could be Indian givers when you know they never gave anything and took it back. So well, if they did, it wasn't like having their land taken. And then all right, Pamela, you have your hand up. Oh, and then Andrew. Okay.
This may be a little far. It may just be me. But during the pandemic, you know, a lot of people started putting crosses in their yards, and I know why. I know why they were doing that. It was supposed to be the faith over fear thing.
Yeah.
But I couldn't help but feel like it to me, it harkens back to the burning crosses in yards from, you know, KKK. And I know that the intention, the people that do that, their intentions are not that. It just, for me, even now seeing it, to me, that first instinct is to think that. And so, you know, there's still that symbolism behind that, even though the intentions are not there. To me, that symbol is still there.
Yeah, I think, and I agree, right, with you, but I think that so often we don't even think about the historical implications of a particular symbol. It's like, I've noticed that there are people around who are taking the United States flag and using it differently now. And I think a few days ago, I saw a US flag, and I brought it up to some group where not only the background of where the stars and stripes was blue, but so were all the red and white stripes were blue. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means, but I'm sure it symbolizes something. But how do we take something that was supposed to be unifying and good, like the cross? You know, the symbol has been misused a lot, the symbol of the cross. But how do we take something that's supposed to evoke some feeling of safety and comfort and turn it into something like, it's like not really good at all. Not really good at all. Andrew, did you take your hand down?
I did. I was just gonna give another example, like
Mhm.
the Cleveland Indians are now called the Guardians.
Okay,
Another saying that could be out there is rule of thumb.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was in reference to how big a switch could be to beat your wife, unfortunately.
yeah.
So yeah, how can, and what was your question, Dr. Cisse? How can we take a symbol?
Oh, something that could be positive, right? So like the rule of thumb, people use that all the time and don't even understand the historical or the meaning of it, right? Or where it came from. It's just, we use it. Yeah, we use it without even trying or putting any effort in trying to understand what it means and how it could be hurtful. That's it. That's all I had to say.
Shavana had her hand.
Okay, Shavana.
I was just gonna speak to the flag that you were talking about, Dr. Cisse, with the blue stripes. It's to represent the Back the Blue movement. You know how like Black people, well, the Black community has Black Lives Matter. That flag that you're talking about is for Blue Lives Matter. So it represents the police force. But to some groups, that can be seen as, something racist because like inner city people don't really, like we know that not all police officers are bad, but from the experiences that they've had with the police, they see that as, offensive. Like, how are we gonna back this group of people that all we know is negativity from them? You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for clearing that up for me because, but there does need to be a conversation around, but anyway, there we go again. Some group has taken something that should be a symbol of hope or all things that are good and turned it into something that's really like not good, as if the United States is not a place where Black lives should matter or, anyway, thank you for clarifying that. Yes, Neb. Oh, by the way, Neb, welcome. And how are you feeling today?
Thank you. I feel great. I just had a problem with my email, so and because I did, I lost many of my contacts. But anyway, so thank you for sending me the information again. I regret having to go through that process. Anyway, I mean, the black flag with the black stars and black stripes. That's a symbol of no quarter asked, no quarter given.
I don't know what that means. Tell us what that means. No quarter.
No quarter. That means no mercy.
Oh.
Once we engage with you, then it's death, defeat, or victory.
Oh wow.
And you see a lot of those flags, especially here in the South. So what they're trying to tell you is that this group is about the business of the destruction of whoever they perceive as their enemy.
Wow.
Whether it's people of color, whether it's the police, anybody, so they wear those flags. And also how you exhibit the flag also determines some information. And simply because those people in the United States look at the red, white, and blue as positive. Remember, in many parts of the world, it is the flag of the oppressor, the flag of the invader. So again, it is your perspective, where you stand. If you fly under a certain flag, then your behavior it is not dictated by the flag, but that symbol symbolizes your allegiance to the values of the persons who have that flag. Remember, in the United States, that flag flew over the graves of my ancestors. So what was it? Was it about their freedom and their liberty? No. It wasn't freedom and justice with liberty for all? No. And then, you want to convert it to something else simply because there was a change in status. And many people see that flag, regardless of whether one has taken the oath to defend. You don't take an oath to defend the flag. You take an oath to defend the Constitution, even with its flaws. So what do flags mean? Flags mean different things to different people. So you see many people flying, some people flying the flag of Ukraine. What are they saying? They stand in solidarity. And then you have Pentagon papers too. And some people say, oh, well, all that we've been told is not true. For those of us who were in Vietnam, the Gulf of Tonkin, flying the flag, and then therefore inventing a story so that, aggression can go forward. So again, simply because people in the United States think that the flag is a symbol of liberty and justice for all, that is not the worldwide vision of that flag. Simply because some people see the cross as a symbol of Christianity, some people see it as a symbol of aggression, or the star, or this symbol and that symbol. Also, some of those symbols were appropriated. For instance, if you go to Ethiopia, you see what some people call a Nazi cross has been reversed, because what it was at one time was a symbol of wholeness, and those 90-degree angles, and you get 360 degrees. So they took that symbol and turned it around. So again, what is the meaning of a symbol? The symbol, in my estimation, is whatever people want to make it. So you have this black flag, this black flag with black stars saying that no quarter asked and no quarter given.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Neb. Pamela, you have your hand up?
And to kind of go with what Neb was saying, I'm a veteran also, and after Donald Trump started to come into the scene and got elected, and especially the MAGA people just kind of just clenched onto the flag as this symbol of what they're all about, and started and using the word patriot all the time. It seemed like they just assumed that if you were a veteran, that you believed in all the same things. And I ran into person after person that because as soon as they found out I was a veteran, they assumed that I believed in the same things that they did. And I had multiple conversations with people where, I had to say, patriot does not mean what you think it means. And this flag, I didn't serve to defend that flag. That flag isn't the most important thing. It pissed a lot of people off, because they clench to it like it's just this. I don't understand it a lot of times. But on a more positive side, and Andrew kind of touched on it too, with the newer pride flags, especially the ones with the triangle and the raised fist. Now, flying that on your house, you are signaling that you are a safe house. If there's somebody that does need help, that maybe wouldn't find help in any other house, if they see that flag flying at your house, they know that that's a safe space. They hopefully could go and knock on your door and find a safe space in your house. So they can be positive. These symbols can be positive, and that that you can find comfort in these symbols.
Okay. And I think for many of them, that probably was the original intent, for them to be positive. Oh, except for the swastika. But but then people distort them, right? People, whew, we are something else. All right, Shavonna, you have your hand raised?
Yeah, I just wanted to speak to what Nev had said a little earlier. Also coming from a veteran, I think that it's important to recognize that each veteran's experience is different. And, you know, coming from a Black female veteran, what my understanding of patriotism is versus what, you know, a white female veterans may be is on it's on the same scale, but it's different experiences. And I think that it's important to point that out. And also, I forgot the other part I was gonna say, Dr. Cesar. It was so much said at that time. I forgot. It was something.
All right, you'll remember. We'll be here for a few more minutes.
Okay.
Oh my God, literally a few minutes. Okay, so I want us to address that other question. Thank you, everybody, for your contributions to this part of our discussion. But I don't want us to leave without getting the input from the folks that are sitting around and behind me here about choice theory as a framework for discussing, having conversations around diversity. Now, I asked these young people to remember some of the things we talked about around that table, but I know the itis is setting in, and but I'm gonna ask them to go ahead and contribute, to add some things out in this conversation about how CT, and ask some questions, because we got Neb and we got Marty, who have been doing choice theory for a long time, who can answer some of the questions that they brought better than I can. All right, go right ahead. Yeah.
Well, I haven't talked yet, so I'll just make an observation, and that's with CTRT and diversity, something that occurs to me is the fact that William Glasser said that the 5 basic needs are genetic and applicable to all people from birth, you know, no matter religion, race, anything, everyone has the same 5 basic needs. But what makes it flexible is the fact that different individuals have their own levels of needs, and they're different wants to meet those needs. So I like that it has the starting point of, we all have things in common. We all strive to meet these needs, but with culture, diversity, we're going to meet those needs in different ways, and some of us will have obstacles in the way of meeting those needs because of our culture, because of where we're born and who we're born to. So that's just an observation that I had.
All right. Marty, did you want to respond to that?
Well, I think that's very true, and I think that's what's really important, is that as Glasser talks about, we all have the same basic needs, but the way we meet those needs is individual to us. And so it's based on our quality of world, which has a lot to do with the culture that we were raised in, the experiences that we've had from birth to this point in our lives. So all of that goes to make up how we deal with the world. But the fact that we all have the same 5 basic needs is the universal, and that's what makes us all one person, shall I say, is that we all have those needs. But our individual comes in as to how we meet those needs based on our background, our culture, and all of that. So that's very true.
I think the wants part and satisfying those needs by satisfying wants, or the pictures that are in our quality worlds, are the part that a lot of times people miss, because sometimes I have heard people say, well, if we all have the same needs, then I need survival or success. Then if I am working for success and you're working for success, then you're probably gonna take something from me. If you get what you need, somehow I'm gonna have to give up something. You know, what is it called? The zero sum theory, where people tend to believe that if you get some money, then that means that my capacity to get some money is gonna be diminished. When folks don't understand, just because I wanna be successful, my success, my idea of success is different than yours, and it's based on me satisfying the images that I have in my quality world. So I'm not here to take something from you. I'm here to get what it is that I think I need to satisfy my images in my quality world.
And so if you look at the fact that, okay, I want to get more money,
Mhm.
and then the question comes up is that if I had more money, how would my life be different?
Mhm.
And so if you had more money, your life might be different compared to my life would be if I had more money.
Mhm, mhm,
And so I
mhm.
think that's the other question that we need to go to, is that we can say my quality world picture is I would like to be successful. So if you were successful, what would be happening in your life that's not happening now? And what I would describe may be completely different than what you would describe. And that comes back to our own individual quality worlds. And so I'm working for that picture. And Glasses says we don't really behave to meet basic needs. We actually behave to satisfy pictures in our quality world.
Which help us to get the needs met. Okay.
Right. Because if we're able to do that, see,
Yeah.
nobody says, say, gee, it's lunchtime. I got to go meet my need for survival
No.
by eating. We don't behave to meet needs. We behave to satisfy pictures in our head, which ultimately meets those basic needs.
That's right. That's right.
See, so that's where the scales come in.
Mhm, mhm.
We're matching picture of what I want and the picture of what I have.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Neb, did you have anything you wanted to add, or you want to wait for the next one?
I have a different perspective, so I'll wait.
Okay. All right, next. Come on, y'all all contributed to that conversation when we were around today. I said, don't forget.
So what if today is the day that you finally get rid of the picture of what's in your head and live life how it's supposed to be and start embracing everything for everything that it is? Can we?
So we're getting rid of the pictures in our quality world that
that aren't serving us. Yeah, so life is supposed to be this way. So
Mhm,
we get rid of the certain pictures that life's supposed to be this way and
mhm.
enjoy life for what it actually is right now. We find more enjoyment in life if we just see what we have right now and embrace what we have right now. Instead of just trying to picture our quality world and living up to our quality.
So you're asking me to trash the pictures I have in my quality?
Not necessarily trash, but I don't want to challenge your belief.
Ah. Okay, I want you to ask me the question. I want somebody else to address the question, because I'm sitting here, I got a really creative response.
So
Mhm.
if we can say, yes, that would be a perfect ideal world. But my world right now is actually pretty good if I stop trying to live up to this image of what I think the world should be. Does that make sense?
It does, and it makes a lot of sense. And what I'm thinking about is what happens to the individual that we are directing that question to. Right? So what you're asking me is so the images that we have in our quality world of the things that are most important to us are images that we have been collecting over time. Right? And so those are about our beliefs and all the things that we hold important to us. And so are you asking me just to suspend it or are you asking me?
If you could suspend it for a temporary amount of time to look and see what you have, and you can appreciate what you have now, instead of always striving for that quality image that may or may not be attainable.
I like to think of readjusting maybe instead of like getting rid of the picture to readjust the picture. Because when I think of comparing two things, if you want those scales to be equal, you have to change one of those things. So we either change what's happening in reality in our life, our perception, or we adjust that image in our quality world. If success to us is a Ferrari and we're driving around in a 20-year-old Camry, then we're frustrated. But if we are able to reflect and change the image of success from Ferrari to owning a car and being in control of my transportation, then the scales balance a little bit better.
You're gonna say something?
I agree with that.
Yeah. What we're doing is using we're asking a question about, is this a realistic expectation, right? But so we can ask people to self-reflect, to self-evaluate and determine if an image they have in their quality worlds is an image is of something that they can actually attain.
It wouldn't be in their quality world if they couldn't obtain it. See, the only thing that falls in our quality world are things that we have experienced that has been need satisfied. Those are the ones that end up in our quality world.
Like moms and dads and.
Well, let me give you an example. Let's say you got married and you had the perfect relationship. And here was the picture, of the picture you have in your head of this perfect relationship would be, let's say you, your spouse, and a couple of kids living in a house that you can afford, and everything is just perfect. You have the perfect family and you're just happy. All of your needs are being met. You lose that person through death, or that person leaves and remarries someone else. But you still have that picture of the happy family in your quality world. And as long as you focus on that picture of the four of you, me, my spouse, and my two kids, as long as I focus on that picture and I try to get a match to that by trying to talk the person into coming back, telling them that they really love me and we can really make this work and all of that kind of stuff, as long as you do that, you're going to be miserable. So this person has gone on with their lives. And so what needs to happen is that you need to put the picture. You don't take that picture of the four of you out of your quality world, because that was very need satisfying. But what you do now is that you look at the picture of what's real in your world. It's myself and my two kids. And that becomes the picture that I continue to focus on. But as long as I try to focus on the other, then I'm going to be miserable until I change that picture. I don't take it out of my quality world because it was need satisfying at that point in my life.
So we can replace things. Okay, all right. Anybody else? Thank you, Martin. Because the other thing I think about. Okay, so I was gonna offer somebody else a chance to talk, but I want to just put this out there. And that's those things that we believe are need satisfying that are not helpful for us, like drugs, the things that we put in our quality world that are sometimes not very helpful, right? Like drugging or smoking too much, or smoking, or some of those other things that Glasser talked about. And so we don't take them out, like you said, we don't take them out. We either modify or we replace.
Yes.
So so the point I think that Andrew was making is that we ask people to. I'm just trying to make sure I understood what you were asking, Andrew, is we ask people to put that image aside for a while that they have in their quality world, and then just accept what it is that they have in their life today.
So, because sometimes you can not appreciate what you currently have. You overlook what's good in your life right now. If you're trying to reach a quality image that is either in the past or in the future that's unattainable. So if we can live in the present of, this is what I have, this is what I can appreciate. This is something I can hold on to and create for my quality.
All right, Nev has his hand up. Hi, Angela. Well, just a
well,
second, please. Go
yeah.
ahead. Mm-hmm.
In terms of the picture world, my picture of the picture world is that it is a place where we can place pictures, but if we can put them there, we can also take them out. It's not necessarily societal's values that determine the picture. It's whether or not that picture makes us feel good. I.e., if heroin makes me feel good, then I'll have that picture. But simply understanding from a therapeutic point of view, if that is your picture, it can either be altered or replaced. So there is, I talk about repicturing. I talk about picture combining. I talk about automatic repicturing. If something that you thought brought you pleasure at one point now brings you pain. For instance, that's the thing about drugs. It is not your value system that changes whether or not you use drugs generally. It is that it no longer provides pleasure, and that pleasure may be, as Marty talked about it, you may lose your family. So if you lose your family, that is pain now because you've lost something in your picture world. Not that you took it out necessarily, but your behavior led to the choices that, again, choice theory, the choices that you made to obtain what makes you feel good. And in the early days, Glasser talked about how do we know whether we're doing what we quote should or shouldn't do. Those things that make you feel good are the things that you tend to what? Repeat. I think that the question about what does a particular picture look like doesn't mean that that picture is always going to be the source of your need fulfillment. Those pictures change over time, i.e. the wife that you once thought you had, when you both change, then that person may no longer be in your quality world, or you may no longer be in her quality world. And so what do you do about that? Now, there's some therapeutic things that I would recommend that you could do. I mean, first of all, you think about the fact that you can alter what you thought you wanted in terms of the relationship. You can revalue your children. You can revalue the things that you acquire in that relationship. And you can, we always talk about communication in relationship. You can begin to communicate that these changes are occurring at some point. I mean, I wrote this book on love. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing, but I wrote it anyway. So, but the point is that picture world can be very, very fluid. And if we think that we can take a picture and that picture will always be the measure of our behavior, then we miss the point. I'll close with this. Think about children. What they place in their picture world as children changes as they mature and become adults. And for those of us who have children or work with children or know children, we see that what we call maturation is really about changing the pictures in your head so that you now behave to make those pictures match.
True.
Okay, anything else? Did you have some? What do you want to add?
I want to discuss.
You would? I didn't understand what you were saying.
As I want to discuss, but I want to discuss with us. It's just
Oh, okay. She
oh.
wants to discuss with us. Okay. Did somebody else have their hand up and I missed it?
Angela had her hand up.
Angela.
Hi there. Hi, I'm so sorry. I got called into an emergency call here and I'm in Reynolds, Georgia. And I had my times completely flipped, but pulled over to the side of the road because I have very small reception here. So I'm on the side of the road in Reynolds, Georgia. I'm so sorry. I apologize to everyone for getting here late. But it beautifully said by the gentleman. I do agree that, you know, especially when working with children, our own children, when we go through difficulties, it is the first thing that has to change is your mindset. I think a lot of it has to do with how we're raised. And we tend to cope and manage with certain, you know, hard times the way that our parents did, right? And we always say, oh, I'm not gonna do this when I have kids, and we end up doing it regardless. We end up doing it. But the beauty about it is changing your mindset and knowing where to meet them halfway. And it's a life-changing habit. It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of patience, but I couldn't agree more with the gentleman before me. He put it perfectly in wording.
All right, good job. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. And it's 3 o'clock. I know we had lots of technical difficulties today, but I really appreciate you all coming, and I'm always mindful of people's time. And so it really is time for us to wrap up our conversation. Does anybody have any final words, any things they want to say? No? Wow. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day and a great month, and I'll see you all next month. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, have a good one.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Marty,
Yeah.
are you feeling okay?
Huh?
Are you feeling okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
I don't